Okay, radiation hormesis. Excited about the cure, written with Jane Gutierrez, Nighthawk Minerals. Put aside all misconceptions. Radiation is not all harmful. In fact, it can be healing. Natural radiation has existed on the earth since ancient times. Amazingly, when radiation is low dose, living organisms actually experience healing. Defense mechanisms are activated and the result is healing. This is the science known as radiation hormesis, one of the most exciting research areas being given strong attention in radiobiology today. But it is hardly new. The idea that certain natural springs have miraculous healing power is in fact ancient. For thousands of years, the ill and infirm have journeyed long distances seeking cures at the waters of Bath in England, Bagstein in Austria, and countless other locations. Marble palaces, still open for business, were built over the springs in Joachimsthal in what is now the Czech Republic, and luxurious spas sprouted like weeds in Hot Springs, Arkansas, the most famous curative waters in the United States. The properties of these waters have been valued so highly that in 1832, Congress established the Arkansas Hot Springs as the first federal reservation, a forerunner of the national park system. Even the military recognized the importance of these waters and established the Army and Navy General Hospital there in 1879. What is the connection? In 1903, the discoverer of the electron, J.J. Thomson, discovered the presence of radioactivity in well water. This led to the discovery by others that the waters in many of the world's most famous health springs were also radioactive, due to the presence of radium emanation, what we now call radon gas, produced by radium in the ground through which the waters flow. Who could doubt that it must be the radioactivity that was responsible for the curative properties of the health springs? Even the U.S. Surgeon General George H. Torney wrote, about 1819, that relief may be reasonably expected at the hot springs in various forms of gout and rheumatism, neuralgia, metallic or malarial poisoning, chronic Bright's disease, gastric dyspepsia, chronic diarrhea, chronic lesions, etc. Professor Bertram Boltwood of Yale explained the scientific basis for the cures. The radioactivity was carrying electrical energy into the depths of the body and there subjecting the juices, protoplasm, and nuclei of the cells to an immediate bombardment by explosions of electrical atoms, and that stimulated cell activity, arousing all secretory and excretory organs, causing the system to throw off waste products, that it was an agent for the destruction of bacteria. Radon was believed to be so important to water that it was considered its life element. Without it, water was dead. Radon was to water what oxygen was to air. Yet today, mention radiation or radon gas, and most people run the other way. What happened between the advent of radiation hormesis and the poor reputation of radiation today? The answer comes from J. Gutierrez, a Native American medicine man who quite by accident discovered a secret deep within the stones he had been mining for over 20 years in northern Wyoming and Utah. He began mining stone for jewelers, then took to making jewelry himself. Amazingly, he began hearing stories from people who received the jewelry. Lumps in the breast disappeared, pain was gone. Gutierrez took some stones to a lab and had them analyzed. "I'm not into holistics and I'm not into magic," Gutierrez began. "I'm a helicopter mechanic by trade. I have to know exactly how something works to have proof. That's exactly what I have spent the last decade or more doing, proving the results and finding out why the stones heal." Gutierrez even found doctors who used the stones with patients for all illnesses and confirmed good results. At this point, the science of radiation hormesis isn't in question. It works, states Gutierrez. The way to distribute this information, and thus the availability of this healing, is the challenge. That's where we come in. Gutierrez shared his findings most recently at the annual Alternative Integrative Medicine Association meeting in early June 2007 in Branson, Missouri. What Gutierrez discovered is that certain mixtures of minerals and semi-precious stones give off low-emission radiation, about 2 mREM a day, as well as electricity. Hormesis is the Greek word meaning to excite, Gutierrez explained. In controlled and scientifically documented experiments, results show that, in fact, low doses of radiation excite the immune system to create amazingly healing benefits for cancer, Crohn's disease, candida, diabetes, and much more. Gutierrez is not the first researcher to be excited about radiation hormesis. Noted researcher Dr. Lucky also proposed the concept while teaching biochemistry at the University of Missouri in the U.S. in 1982. He reintroduced radiation hormesis in an academic society magazine, Health Physics, in the United States. Dr. Luckey, Luckey, insisted that while radiation in high doses exerted only adverse effects, radiation in low doses, on the contrary, resulted in aging suppression, cancer suppression, improvement of immune function, promotion of growth, and an increase in defense against disease. Gutierrez is also not the first person to invent ways to distribute the benefits of radiation hormesis. Devices were invented that could be used in the home to add radon to drinking water, such as the popular Revigator, a radioactive water crock made of radium-containing ore, which held several gallons of water, came with its own spigot, and had the following instructions on the side: fill jar every night, drink freely. In the 1920s and early 1930s, it was possible to purchase radium-containing salves, beauty creams, toothpaste, earplugs, chocolate bars, soap, suppositories, and even contraceptives. Radium-containing pads that were applied to the body were especially popular. Radioactive quack cures were also available, and despite legal restrictions, these too continued to be manufactured into the 1940s and 50s. Unfortunately, these few gave a bad reputation to the healing methodology of radiation hormesis, and soon all such products, false and pure, fell under suppression. Further fear of radiation came after use of the atomic bomb in World War II, and the subsequent development, testing, and stockpiling of very large numbers of nuclear weapons. Scientists who wanted to stop further weapons testing promoted fear of all radiation. Today, most physicians are not aware of the large amount of research that has been carried out over the past century on the positive effects of low-dose radiation, especially the beneficial hormetic effects. Not having been taught otherwise, nor having researched the issue for themselves, they believe that radiation in any amount will only damage cells and that the resulting mutated cells could become cancers. Gutierrez has a mission to change all that, and he has created a unique solution. Rather than create a product around radiation hormesis, Gutierrez sells the stones he mines himself in 3 different varieties. Gutierrez uses a digital radiation detector to measure exactly the level of radiation one can receive from each of his products. With his mud packs, he can adjust them to any energy level needed, noting that low dose is often best. What Gutierrez has developed is natural, inexpensive, and simple to use radiation hormesis in 3 different choices of applications: stones, mud packs, and water stones. The stone heals 3 ways. 1, it provides a very low level of radiation hormesis. 2, it absorbs a very small DC current. And 3, it puts out a very small DC current. The stone is especially beneficial on painful areas, tumors, and lesions. The stone puts out between 0.05 and 0.09 rems per hour. The quartz in the stone is pyroelectric and increases from 260 to about 380 millivolts when it's heated up. Therefore, before applying the stone, rub it under hot water for 2 or 3 minutes until it is warm or comfortably hot to the touch. Place the stone directly against the skin. Keep the stone on the affected areas as much as possible. You cannot overdo it. The mud packs emit... where's that mud pack?
Right here.
Oh, you're not using it. Here's the mud pack. The mud packs emit between 1 and 2 rems per hour. Unlike the stones, the packs do not have to be warm or hot to make them effective. Temperature will not vary the energy level. Put a thin cotton material between the skin and the bag and place the pack over the affected area for at least 8 hours a day. More is better. Sleeping with it is an excellent way to get uninterrupted usage. If the packaging breaks or leaks, it is not dangerous to have skin contact. I bet you could even put it in water and apply mud,
Drink it.
on people. If the packaging breaks or leaks, okay, it's not. The water stone puts out between 10 and 6 to 8 rems per hour. Place the stone in a gallon of water and let it set overnight. Let me go get the water bottle. I'll show you that one. This is a water stone in here. It's kind of a cruder looking stone. I guess you could never sell that for jewelry, but he probably picks those for the radioactive qualities. Okay, so that's the water stone. It puts out between 6 and 10. Wow, it's a lot compared to this. Because this stone would be 0.05 and 0.09 rems per hour, whereas that water stone goes up to 6 and 10 rems per hour, and the mud pack is between 1 and 2 rems per hour. Place the stone in a gallon of water and let it set overnight. The water will absorb the radiation and in turn will put out about 0.06 rems per hour as it goes through the body. So if this stone is 0.06 and then you put that one in the water and drink it, then it's like putting 0.06 throughout your body. I get it. The period of internal effectiveness is approximately 3 hours. Any water can be used and there is no change in its effectiveness, refrigerated or not. When beginning, it is suggested that you drink 1 to 2 glasses a day until your body has adjusted. After this period, drink all your water treated if desired. When you start, it is not uncommon for an aggravation period in the area between 2 and 30 days. Other detoxification symptoms can also be expected for the first 1 to 4 days, such as nausea, headaches, slight fever, dizziness. This is a sign of the healing reaction that your body is orchestrating. Other effects usually include good sleep and increased energy. Keep in mind that the radiation treatments we hear of today for cancer apply to high doses to local regions of the body. For this application, it is generally believed that radiation in any amount will only create damage. However, research over the past century points to the benefits of low-dose radiation, and considerable evidence shows that total or half-body low-dose irradiation may do exactly the opposite, significantly delay the progression of cancer, leading to a reduction in cancer mortality without symptomatic side effects. Could the cure be right beneath our feet, a treasure waiting to be mined? It says J. Gutierrez still mines and cuts all the precious stones himself, delivers them to doctors and patients, and keeps track of the data he receives as feedback. You can visit his website at www.nighthawkminerals.com and email him for more details. So there you go. Any comments?
The rock's stuck in the top of the bottle.
Oh, let's see if it could go down. Oh, there. That's good. here we are, sunset. Great-grandmother. Mom listening to all the stock stuff. It's very dark in here. This is the hallway. Icon. More sunset out of the little window here. Oh, this is a cool book. And here's my mother's bathroom. Original tiles there, that color, I don't know what was popular in the 20s when this was made. And my mom likes a more cheerful color there, but here's what she's going to do above the bathtub. My mom does calligraphy. Even in my worst moments, I would not destroy a Greek statue or a fresco by Giotto. Why anything else then? Why, for example, a moment in the life of a human being who could have been happy for that moment? Simone Weil, Scribe Jen. Again and again in riper years, we experience under a new stimulus what we thought had been finally left behind, the authentic impulse to action, the renewal of power and the concentration on a new object. Again and again, a new truth is revealed to us, in whose light all our previous knowledge must be rearranged. And if you cannot make your life the way you want it, at least do this, as much as you can. Do not disgrace it in the crowding contact with the world, in the many movements and all the talk. So I don't know who wrote that one. Maybe she did. And then we've got D.H. Lawrence, so you just have to come here yourself to read the rest. Something from Shakespeare, and I think that's what my niece drew. A picture of the parakeet. So there you are, Berkeley house.